Tony, Lawry from Leigh Creek Energy. Thanks for catching up with us on the Flow Network.
Sure, thanks, Ricky.
Now, you've got a great announcement today about another milestone for the company.
Yes, we announced today that the project at Leigh Creek will be carbon neutral from next year, 8 years earlier than we'd previously planned. So we're really happy to be able to announce that today.
And how did you get there? That's 8 years earlier. Is it just through implementing different processes to make sure you're compliant throughout the business?
No, it'll be through a combination of utilising renewable energy, purchase offsets and carbon farming programs from next year. And as we design the big manufacturing facility that will be constructed on site at Leigh Creek, there'll be various initiatives that will be designed into that plant that will be sustainable and renewable, etc., from years 2 and through the construction process. But then in year 4, we'll be able to combine all of that when we're producing urea. A lot of the carbon dioxide that will be made on site as a result of the gasification process will be stored and then reused at the back end of the process in urea production. It's just how the chemistry works. We need a lot of carbon dioxide in the process, and that will be utilised in the production of urea. And about 25% that won't be utilised, we plan to capture and store it underground on site.
Yeah, so it's a good, fairly sort of cyclical process, if you like. You can reinvest that energy back into the system.
Yeah, reinvesting the carbon dioxide, absolutely.
Yeah. So just for those might not be terribly familiar with the project, when are you estimating completion will be, and how many jobs have there been in the construction phase?
Jobs in construction phase will be between 1,500 and 2,000 for the 15 to 18 months. And then on site from there on, probably upwards of 1,000 at Leigh Creek for the 30 plus years of the project. We plan to begin construction in January 2023. We're well into the process of design with the partner that we just signed up 3-4 weeks ago, the big South Korean conglomerate DLE&C, or part of the Daelim Group. The construction partner that we've got, they've been operating since just after the Second World War. They employ an enormous amount of people all over the world, and they've completed over 600 infrastructure projects in 35 countries. They're building an ammonia plant right now in Saudi Arabia that's 100 times larger than what we'll need at Leigh Creek. So when people ask us the question, can you build this? Well, yes, we can, now that we've got this very large group that have done all of the due diligence, all of the investigations about the project and the company. They're satisfied that this is a project that they want to be involved with. So we're really proud to be working with them now. So the project has started.
Yeah, and that's encouraging for the people in the Leigh Creek and the broader community there. When the mine closed, things got a bit tough there, but is there hope that there'll be a revival in Leigh Creek off the back of all of this?
Well, it's more than hope now, Ricky. It's happening.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we'll need to employ a lot of people over the journey, but particularly in the next probably 6 to 9 months, we'll be starting to really ramp up that construction employment program.
Great. And are the infrastructure requirements or needs still, you're still having to negotiate with state or federal government about like roads or power and that sort of thing to really get that rolling?
No, not at all, Ricky. We will provide for our own electricity requirements or power requirements on site. We'll use the rail network to transport goods from Port Augusta up onto site, and then the product will go from site back down to Port Augusta. There'll be some final negotiation needing there, but a lot of that infrastructure is already in place. All we really need to do is build the facility on site, the urea production facility itself.
Yeah, and I guess that's the beauty of the project having previously been in existence for another purpose, is that all the infrastructure was largely already there.
It's a massive advantage for us, Ricky, that we don't have to build that on site. There's a great town at Leigh Creek and Copley with a lot of facilities that's got the schools, the emergency services, shopping, housing, and of course the commercial airport, which is a great advantage to us.
Yeah, well, having visited Leigh Creek a year or so ago, can see that it needs this sort of injection for it, so it's good news for the local community, and that's why we keep tracking how the project's going. Thanks for speaking with us today on Flow.
You're welcome anytime, Ricky. All the best.